When you are in a relationship with a masculine man, it shouldn't feel like work. It won't feel like work if you're with a really masculine man because he will be leading. He will be proactively creating the space for you to follow, giving you the reassurance and the clarity that you need so that you can just let go, so that you can just be fully open, receive him, follow his lead, share your feelings, problems, unmet needs whenever they come up, so that he can better take care of you. It's really easy when you're with a very healthy masculine man who knows how to treat a woman, who knows how to lead a woman. The problem comes in when you're with a, we'll call it less than masculine man. Might be super emasculated, it might be just a little emasculated, but he's not showing up perfectly. This is where a relationship can often tend to start to feel like a lot of work. And the more masculine energy that you haven't healed, right, because of your own wounds, because of your own childhood trauma, because of your own inability to communicate as a feminine being, the more the relationship is going to feel like work. So understand the benchmark, first of all. In a relationship, the way it is supposed to be is it's not supposed to feel like work at all. It is work, like all relationships require work. You have to put in effort, but feminine effort should feel very different than masculine effort. Feminine effort is more learning how to let go of trying to overtly control him, let go of resisting him, and let go of managing his perceptions of you, right? So feminine work is actually letting go of the effort that you're already putting in to resist in some way. But it is effort because it's scary. It should feel good putting in that effort. But what most women experience in a relationship is we'll call it the bad kind of work, where it feels masculine, it feels draining, it feels stressful, it feels exhausting. And not only that, but you're probably not getting much back, or at least not as much as you need back. So you're also feeling sad, angry, and anxious. Some combination of those three, typically, because your needs aren't being fully met. If you are experiencing that, you can know automatically something is wrong in the relationship. Something is wrong with how you're showing up, and also something is wrong with how he is showing up, which creates a co-creation of something where neither of you really want, right? Neither of you are fully happy, neither of your needs are fully met. And what we're going to talk about in this video is how you should be showing up, why it's so difficult for you to let go, where it's not feeling like work, which involves how a man is contributing to that co-creation, and what you can do about it if you find yourself over and over in that wrong kind of energy, that masculine energy. Before we get into it, I'm going to introduce myself. My name is Zach Rohde. I'm here to lead you into creating the relationship of your dreams, using your feminine energy and what I call feminine communication to inspire a man into cherishing you. If you have not yet subscribed to this channel, make sure you do that below. Hit the notification bell and be sure to like this video because I'm going to make sure it's a really good one for you today. So, if you are putting work into your relationship, there's a very high chance, not definite chance, but very high chance that in childhood, you also had to put in work to make the relationship with one or both of your parents function properly. The way it's supposed to be in childhood for a little girl is you're not having to work for mommy and daddy's love and attention. They are coming to you. They are providing the space for you to be open and for you to be yourself and for you to be happy, for you to learn. You're getting that attention and love by default. But if you had a not so healthy mommy and daddy, what's going to happen is you're going to start to learn as a protection mechanism, as a way to get your needs met in childhood, you're going to have to work for it. Work for it by being on your best behavior, work for it by getting straight A's, work for it by overachieving, by just having to really excel in general, work for it by being more calm and stoic than you otherwise would be, work for it in all kinds of ways where you are kind of either stifling who you really are or striving to be someone better, but in an unhealthy way, right? Not striving because it feels really joyful and fun, but more striving for mommy and daddy's love and attention and safety. And so if that was how you were raised, if that was your childhood experience, that becomes really deeply imprinted into how you show up and what you really believe is going to get you love, right? You don't come into a relationship by default believing on a deep level, I will be loved and I am lovable just by being me. For me to be lovable, for me to get my needs met, for me to not be abandoned emotionally or physically, I need to put in all of this effort, which means you have to be in your masculine energy, which means you're not in your feminine energy. And then when you are in your masculine energy, first of all, you're going to have to attract, or you are going to attract men typically where you're going to have to put in more work because they're not fully embodied in their own masculine energy. And two, you're going to, when you're in the relationship with them, they're not going to be inspired to fully step up and proactively give you that care, right? They're not the one just initiating all the time and making all of the plans and trying to ease the burdens that you have, make your life easier in so many ways, give you the reassurance and clarity that you need. And so, because they're not doing that, you're going to go into your default pattern of trying to work for love, trying to work for attention. And that is going to typically create a spiral where, because that's masculine energy, and masculine energy pushes away devotion in a relationship. So the more that you work for it, the less a man's going to be interested in giving you that love and attention. So it's a losing battle. You cannot possibly win this battle. It doesn't matter how much effort you put in. It doesn't matter how you do it the perfect way and try to be the perfect girlfriend or wife. If you do it with the wrong energy where you're trying to work at it, it's really only ever going to push them away. And there's many reasons for this, but if you want to really simplify it, when you are in your masculine energy, trying to make things work, you are communicating that you are worth so little that you can't just be yourself. You have to be more than you are. You have to be in your masculine. And a man's going to pick up on that lack of self-worth that you have and just not be inspired, because men are inspired by a woman who's in her worth. He's inspired to add to your worth when your worth, the worth that you're communicating is like, I have so much worth. I'm so valuable. And I don't mean you would communicate that in like an entitled way, like a boss babe, but like, I'm so worthy. That's not going to work. Feminine self-worth, that comes out naturally when you're in your feminine energy, when you're vulnerably sharing everything that's coming up for you, when you're not trying to control anything, when you're not enabling his patterns, when you're not really trying to do anything. When you're in your feminine energy, you're just focusing on you, enjoying feeling good, just flowing. That doesn't mean you're not going to do anything for him, but you're going to do it if he leads you to do it. Otherwise, you're not going to go into mothering mode. You're not going to remind him of anything. You're not going to try to be a good girlfriend by buying him things. You're not going to ever suggest to split bills. You're not going to be the one that's, saying we need to talk and coming to him all. I mean, sometimes you will have to come to him if you have legitimate issues that you need to express, but you're going to do it in a feminine way. You're not going to be leading the conversation. You're going to be opening yourself up and sharing vulnerably so that he leads the conversation. If you lead the conversation, again, it's going to feel like work. It is work. It's masculine energy. Opening yourself up vulnerably, it might be scary, but it's not going to feel like work, assuming that you're doing it with the right energy, right? You're just opening, you're just sharing what's in your heart. And you're just having faith that, of course, he's going to step up and he's going to care and he's going to help you with your feelings and your unmet needs and the problems you're experiencing. That's the way that it is supposed to be. But so few women are experiencing that, because most women have been trained to be in their masculine energy in relationships with men. And this is where feminine communication fixes everything, or it fixes a lot. It doesn't fix everything, but it fixes a lot. There's many different coaches and experts out there, and a lot will focus on like learning how to lean back, which is fantastic. That leaning back is we'll call it like the prerequisite, the beginning step to letting go of work, right? So instead of proactively trying to fix things, make things happen, lead him, suggest him, prod him, move him in any kind of direction, it's just, that's all him. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to lean back. and just have faith that he's going to figure out his own life. He's going to figure out this relationship. I don't have to do anything. Important first step. And there's a very important second step in this, because just leaning back for most men, it's going to maybe help. So sometimes it actually makes it worse if he's really passive, but sometimes it's going to help. Sometimes you just have to get out of his way. But for most men, you have to, to really have the perfect, amazing relationship you can, this is required no matter what. But for most relationships, even to make it good, you need to learn feminine communication. You need to communicate your needs in a feminine way where you're not energetically leading. You're not trying to make anything work. You're just opening yourself up and you're just expressing what's coming up for you. Right? And at a very simple level, that's like, asking for help with your feelings. Like, man, please have some help with what I'm feeling. And then he's like, yeah. And like, what are you feeling? And then you share the feelings. And then he asks why you're feeling the feelings. And then you share in a really short, sentence or two, why the feelings are coming up without going into judgment, without going into blame. So that he understands what the problem is, so that he can try to understand further what's going on and help you with it. So at no step in the process of you using feminine communication would you be leading in any kind of way. And the more that you shift your energy in this way, what happens is, we were talking about that negative snowball effect, right? Like the more work you put in, the lower you're communicating your self-worth is, and then the more that a man just becomes more passive and lazy and less interested in taking care of you. Well, the reverse is also true. The more that you just lean back, as well as opening up your heart and sharing exactly what's coming up for you using feminine communication, the more that a man will tend to start stepping up. Because he starts feeling your self-worth, he starts feeling your feminine energy, and the masculine is wired to serve the feminine. The masculine is wired to serve a feminine woman who is in her self-worth. Men are wired to want to take care of that kind of woman, protect that kind of woman, lead that kind of woman, put the effort in for that kind of woman. And that's what brings him joy. That's what brings him purpose within the relationship. And it's the only way that it can ever work. And by you doing that, you are shifting those childhood patterns where you were conditioned to believe that you needed to work for love. So the more that you let go of that working for love and instead just start expressing vulnerably without trying to get any outcome, without trying to make the relationship work, you start healing that wound. You first start healing it because you're telling yourself, I'm worthy of more, but you continue to heal it as you start getting better responses from the man that you're with. He starts stepping up and taking care of you, which is further evidence that, oh, I am worthy of being taken care of without having to work for it. I am worthy of love intrinsically just by being me. And the more that that shifts, the more that your belief shifts, the easier it is to continue to let go. Because now you believe it. Now there's so little that's compelling you to try to fix anything. It's just, no, of course I'm worthy of love. And then it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Whether it works with this man that you're with or some future man, just you start inspiring devotion from the masculine. Such a man steps up, starts fully taking care of you. Your life gets easier and easier. You become more and more cherished. And that's the way that a relationship, a healthy relationship, is supposed to be. And that's the kind of relationship that you need and you deserve. And you can have it. I don't care where you are. I don't care how stuck you are. I don't care what your wounds are. I don't care how stuck in fear you are. If you want it, you can have that dynamic. First, you have to choose, no, I need this. Like you have to connect with that need and be like, this is what I need. I can feel it. My instinct is just screaming for me to have this kind of dynamic with a man. And then you got to take the proactive steps to create that dynamic. Again, if you're in a relationship, then just do all the things that I've already said, but it goes, the same is true with dating as well. It's leaning back, learning how to fully receive, also communicating everything that's coming up for you using feminine communication, and you shift further and further into your self-worth. And if you would like my help with that, to make that journey way faster and way easier, way less painful, I would love to speak with you on a discovery call for us to find out if it makes sense to work together. The way that you're going to get that call is to go below this video, open up the description, click on relationshipyourdreams.com, watch the video that I have created for you on that page, and if it resonates for you, fantastic. Press the button below that video to book that call, and I'll see you there. That is it for this video. I will see you for the next one.